rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start. Physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 150 of the Silverback Blueprint Podcast. 150 episodes already done, guys. That's fantastic. Feedback's been good. We're still motivated. We've got lots of good stuff that we're working on, a lot of cool things. And again, you know, it's selfish. This whole journey is helping me do better at everything that I'm working on as well. And I think it's all part of that walk the walk and talk the talk. And in fact, today what I want to talk about is comfort zones. So the title of today's episode is Comfort Zones. We hear that term a lot, and I think, it's worth having a discussion on as far as what a comfort zone is, what a good part of a comfort zone is, and what a bad part of a comfort zone is. We talked earlier about the primary needs of human existence, and comfort and home are definitely some of the early things that we need, the first things we need to have. We need a place to feel safe. We need a place to be able to rest our heads and know that we were able to have the basic necessities of warmth and shelter and food. So that's an important comfort zone to have. The comfort zone I want to talk about today is when we get stuck in what we call a rut. Where, we want things to change, but if they don't change by tomorrow, we're okay. If they don't change by Friday, we're still okay. And quite honestly, if they don't change in 6 months or in a year, we're still okay. We're okay because, we have enough money coming in. We're doing things that are making us kind of happy. But at the end of the day, we know that this comfort zone is also really getting in the way of our progress. Right? Because it's not a natural thing to want to step out into the cold. It's not a natural thing to want to step out into adversity, into the unknown, into facing fears. In fact, our body's wired the opposite way. It wants to keep us safe and protected at all times. Right? It wants us to be warm. It wants us not to stress. It wants us to avoid flight or flight situations. And the problem there is that it causes progress to come to a screeching halt. If you truly are happy where you are, pleased with yourself, your situation in life, what you're doing, then listen, you've arrived. You've achieved what many of us are trying to achieve. And, I'd like to listen to your podcast. I'd like to see how you did it. I'd like to learn from you. And I'm not doing this to be confrontational and to call you out and that kind of thing. Far from it. I truly want to keep learning. I truly want to see how it gets done by others. Because the more often you see it done by others, you start seeing clues and patterns on how to do it for yourself. The one common thing for anyone who's achieved and is going after what they want is to be comfortable being uncomfortable. We talk about that in our training at Hostile a lot. When we first start training people, right, that are out of shape, that are broken physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything's hard. Everything seems fucking hard. So the first thing I tell people is we're going to start getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And in fact, what happens is on a scale of 1 to 10 exertion, when people first start training, they quickly get into a 9. A 9 is where you're really out of breath. You have a hard time speaking. Your ears are ringing. You're feeling kind of nauseous. That's a fucked up place to be. We don't need to be at a 9. But when we first start doing something that's uncomfortable and we're not enjoying and it's tough, we also build up a level of anxiety. And that brings it up another notch. So that 9 might really be an 8.5, but because you're feeling like shit, your body is tensing up and it wants you to stop, and it's screaming in your ear, in your mind to say, stop, stop, stop. You're pushing yourself. You're in a state of discomfort and you're not used to it. So it feels even worse than it really is. So when we work with the notion of getting comfortable being uncomfortable, what happens is we recognize the discomfort, but then we can sit there and categorize the discomfort. I've got, 50 swings to do. I've done 30. I'll rest for 10 seconds. I'll go back in. I'll do 5 more. I'll rest for 10 seconds, and I'll do it 5 more. And what happens is all of a sudden we start coming up with an action plan. We start breaking it down. When I'm coaching people and I can see that they're hitting this wall, that's what I start telling them. Focus on the next 2 to 5 reps. Then walk away. Sip of water, deep breath, come back in. You're managing the discomfort. You're getting through it. You're functioning at the 8.5 out of 10. That's where I want you to be. Because at 8.5 out of 10, progress is being made. You're working your way down the list on the workout. At a 3 out of 10, it's going to take you forever. Or you're doing a workout that's so easy for you that it doesn't challenge you at all. That's another aspect of the comfort zone. But for those of us looking to make changes, we're going to be into that 8.5, 9.5 out of 10. So once we realize there's a way to do things, and this is normal to feel this way, and this is what we have to go through, we just got to manage the stress and manage our discomfort, all of a sudden, that 9 out of 10 becomes an 8 out of 10 because we're getting better with it. We're losing some of the anxiety. We're getting comfortable being uncomfortable. We know, we've resolved to ourselves this is going to be hard work. We've resolved that it's going to be tough, but we've sat there, we figured a way that we're going to get through it. And next thing you know, the workout's done. Either you've accomplished everything on the board or the time put forward on the workout is done. And next thing you know, you're in the cool down and you're calming down and you're recovering. Well, it's the same thing when we want to make progress in our lives in any area. Personal, financial, business, spiritually, whatever area that we need to improve upon, that we want to improve upon, we have to get out of that comfort zone. So what happens is we start getting better at being uncomfortable. We start being comfortable being uncomfortable. And we understand and we realize that this discomfort is necessary for progress. That's why so many people shy away from it. That's why so many people start but don't finish. Because it's fucking tough. But if it's worthwhile, it should be tough. And if it's truly a challenge, something that's truly going to change you and change your life and change your life for the people around you that you care about, it has to be a challenge. Because if not, it's just another fucking Tuesday. It's Tuesday today while we're recording this. I just kind of worked that in just for Luke. I know I'm doing well when I get a Luke nod and smirk. I'm like, yes, I'm on. It's just another Tuesday, guys. Next thing you know, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. You know what? If you're celebrating fucking hump day, you are failing at getting shit done. If that is like, holy fuck, thank God it's Wednesday. Unless you're out there fucking beating the fucking pavement every day, working your ass off, then you're just getting by. You're just skating through. You're just trying to get to Friday. And that's not how things get changed. That's not how things get done. That's not how you move significantly towards your goals and your vision. It just isn't. Often what we feel is going to be discomfort, or what is discomfort, isn't going to kill us. That's what Nietzsche says. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. A little extreme. But along those lines, for sure. At the end of the day, dealing with our discomfort, breaking through the discomfort zones. Listen, right now it's October. This is coming out when, Luke? December 6th. Right? It's starting to get cold in the morning. It's not natural to want to kick the covers off and jump up in your underwear or in your birthday suit in the cold air and want to get shit done. But you got to do it. And the more often you do it, the better you get at doing it. But it's not natural. It's warm. It's cozy. Cuddle up with your significant other. Right? It's natural. You don't want to leave that. That's a beautiful comfort zone to be in. But it's got to get broken if you want to get shit done. Because what normally happens is you hit snooze, you hit snooze, you hit snooze, you hit snooze because you're tired. You don't want to break that comfort. But next thing you know, you're fucking late and you're behind all day. And then you're in a shitty discomfort zone all day long But the problem is that's not the type of discomfort zone that's moving you towards anything significant. What it is you having to deal with just the basic minimum of the day that you fucked up on, so that you have to do a whole bunch of bullshit to get through it. And then you get caught up in this whole like, oh, I'm fucking grinding. You're not grinding. You failed first thing in the morning and you're just trying to play catch up. And in your mind, you justify it by, oh, I'm grinding. I had to work so hard. I had to work through lunch today. How many fucking times I hear that I had to work through lunch to find out they didn't start working until fucking 9:30 because they were late? Fuck you. The grind. The grind is real. The real grind is fucking real. Right? A lot of people work at being busy, making busy work, making them feel like they're getting shit done. Again, they're caught in that comfort zone. Feels like they're working really hard, but they're not. The challenge, guys, is to get out of our comfort zone. So what I want you guys to do, think about something you've been wanting to do for a while. So whether it's join the gym, whether it's take a course, whether it's, start a new project. But I want it to be something that is going to be taking you out of your comfort zone. And I want you to commit to an action today to start that process. Because it's always that first action that's required. It takes the most. The heavy lifting, as I always say, is at the beginning. Once you click that payment link, once you click that authorization, once you sign up for something, once you walk into something new for the first time, you break that comfort zone. But then you start something. And the more difficult it is, probably the more important this action is for you. The more necessary this step is to move you towards that goal. You have to seek specific and consistent discomfort, but just manage it. Commit to it and manage it. One of the things I did a while ago is I decided there was time to do a 5K. Everybody in the gym were doing these 5Ks and the Spartan runs. So Army Run was coming around. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. Signed up for it. And as soon as I signed up for it, I'm like, oh no, what have I done? I'm a 350-pound power lifter. I can't walk 5K, let alone run it. But once I signed up for it, once I broke through that discomfort zone and I committed to something, the next thing I did is I downloaded this app on the phone called Couch to 5K. And then I committed to doing it. I knew if I had any chance of doing this Army Run, right? And I wasn't trying to do it in any Kenyan type speed. What my goal was for this 5K is once I started running, not to stop once until I was done. That was my ultimate goal. So signing up for it committed me, took me out of my comfort zone. Spending $1.99 on an app called Couch to 5K, committing to it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would run down by the Aviation Parkway where no one would see me because it's not pretty. And I committed to doing it. And it was fucking tough. It would beat the fuck out of me because I'm 300 plus pounds. But I learned to run a little bit better. I did some research. How do I do this? Talk to some runners and stuff. Because I committed to something outside my comfort zone. And I drew a line in the sand. There was a specific date. I was forced into action. Because the next thing I did is I told everybody I was fucking doing it. So then I had a social contract with everybody. So I was forced into action. I didn't want to be that asshole that walks around going, oh yeah, something happened. It's bullshit. So I committed to it. And it was tough. And it didn't get easier until I was all of a sudden around the 3K mark and we were going whitewater rafting and I had to do the run one morning. And we're out in the country. And so I got up early before our day in the water, and I put my iPhone on, and hit the app and started doing it. And then I'm just doing it. And of course, we're in the country, so we're on a country road, and it goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. Not the flat surface I was used to running. And I remember getting to a point where at this bridge, and as I'm on the bridge, I look across, and there I could see our campsite way the fuck over there. And I'm like, holy fuck, I've gone pretty far. And then it was a halfway point, so just after the bridge, I looped around and came back. And when I got back, I remember realizing, you know what? This wasn't that bad. It was tough, but it wasn't that bad. In fact, from that point on, I realized I could go a pretty good distance. And from that run on, for the rest of the 5K training was 9 weeks, no day ever felt as hard as that day, no matter how long it was. And sure enough, the Army run came, the 5K, and you know what? I ran it the whole time. I'm not a gazelle. I'm not a pounder. I just had a pace, and I kept at it. And you know what? I finished it in, I don't know, a blistering 42 minutes or something, but I'd never fucking run 5K in my life before. I was super fucking proud and amped for it. But it's because I committed and I went out of my comfort zone. This was something way out of my comfort zone. But that feeling of accomplishment was huge because it was way out of my comfort zone, because it was something I had never done before. So the experience I got out of that, the fulfillment I got out of that was so much greater than if I would just signed up for another powerlifting meet. Now, don't get me wrong, powerlifting meets are important to me, and I get stressed when it gets time to it, and I train hard. They make me train more consistently. But it wasn't like this, because this was something very different. And it's something I always wanted to do. We got to break free from the comfort zones. We got to learn to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Challenge ourselves, and then work that challenge and be smart about it, but challenge ourselves. That's all I have to say for now on that, guys. Head on over to iTunes. Leave us a 5-star rating, a positive review. Head on over to hostelegear.com. Use the code word Silverback to save 20% off your next running hoodie. And as always, guys, work hard, motherfuckers. And I'll talk to you guys later.